good, YouTube? It's your boy P Money. So the Blazers get their 5th win of the season, and they go 121-116 on the road against the San Antonio Spurs, led by McCollum's 32 points and an off night by Lillard, but he still gets 22 points to outlast the 30 points from Marcus Aldridge and 17 from Bryn Forbes. In the first quarter, though, LMA was cooking. He goes for 6 points on 3 of 6 from the field, goes 0-1 from 3, had 2 rebounds and a steal. Dejounte Murray, he did not play in this game, and I guess he doesn't play in back-to-backs, so he was out due to load management. And he probably could have been used today by them guys, especially since they're on a, it's a 6-game losing streak for them now. Yeah, they could have used him. But Derek White, he got the start, and in the first quarter, he finished up with 4 points on a 1 of 1 from the field. But the Spurs in that first quarter shoot 9 of 21 from the field and only have 1 made 3. And it was looking like the Blazers were going to run away with this game. The Blazers were led by Whiteside, who had 8 points on 4 of 4 from the field, and he had a rebound. And also, McCollum was cooking. He had 8 points on 3 of 4 from the field, went 2 of 3 from 3, had 3 rebounds and 5 assists. And then Dame also chipped in with 7 points on 3 of 5 from the field, 1 of 3 from three-point land, and had 3 assists. And the Blazers go on to shoot 17 of 22 from the field for 75%, and they have 7 made 3-pointers. And they also have 9 assists with that as well. And they score a season high 41 to lead 41-23 at the end of the first quarter. The Spurs, though, go ahead and use a 16-4 run to get back in the game, led by LMA and Jakob Poeltl, where they use a 35-point quarter and they stay down. They scored. It was 66-58 at the halftime. But Jakob Poeltl, he chipped in with 9 points on 4 of 5 from the field, and LMA started heating up. He had 13 on 5 of 10 from the field, hit a 3, had 6 rebounds and assists, a steal and a block. And then Bryn Forbes, he went off a little bit, and he had 10 points on 4 of 6 from the field, 0 of 1 from 3, had assist and a steal. And then Patty Mills chipped in with 9 points on 3 of 9 from the field, goes 1 of 4 from 3, had a rebound and 4 assists. But McCollum was on fire in that second quarter. He scores 15 and the Blazers 25 points. He goes for 23 points on 9 of 13 from the field, goes 5 of 8 from 3, had 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and a turnover. And then Hassan Whiteside was the second leading scorer with 10 points on 4 of 5 from the field, had a rebound and a block. And then Dame was held to those 7 points on 3 of 7 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3, had 2 rebounds, 3 assists, and a turnover. And then Hazonia chipped in with 7 points off the bench for 2 of 3 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3, had 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and a turnover. The Blazers ended up finishing the half 60% from the field, 46% from 3. And the Spurs were shooting 47% from the field and 30% from 3. But 15 made free throws out of 18, and the Blazers only get 6 free throws. Pretty much kept them in the game. Blazers had 16 assists in the half, and I like some of the new actions that they were using. And they were getting really good open looks all throughout the game. And like I said, the Blazers ended up 66-58 to finish up the half. In the third quarter, though, Greg Popovich gets ejected in the third quarter for just going insane on this foul call, because Derek White pretty much impeded Lillard's ability to go ahead and finish out the basket by falling after the shot. So it was It was a foul, of course, and according to Greg Popovich and the whole Spurs organization, I guess they felt like it wasn't a foul, and he ended up getting ejected really early. But that kind of helped the Spurs a lot. Like, their energy went way up after that, and they used a 38-24 third quarter to go up 96-90 in that third quarter. LMA went off. He had 25 points, 10 of 17 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3, had 11 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and a block. And this is his actually first double-double of the season, which is crazy. But Forbes, he was still going. He had 15 on 6 of 8 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3, had an assist and a steal. But CJ McCollum, he scored 7 in the quarter for 30 points on 12 of 18 from the field, 6 of 10 from 3, had 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and a turnover. And Dame kind of got it going in that quarter to finish up with 15 points on 3 of 12 from the field, and 1 of 6 from 3, had 3 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 turnovers. But in that fourth quarter, this is where it starts going crazy because the Spurs were up 15 with like 7 minutes to go. But the Blazers ended up finishing out the quarter 31-20, led by Rodney Hood and Hassan Whiteside. Big timely baskets from both. Whiteside hitting some floaters, getting fouled. Same thing with Hood, hitting a big finish around the rim for an and one. Just big contributions from those guys in this fourth quarter, and they're, to me, one of the biggest reasons why the Blazers won this game. LaMarcus, he finished up with 30 points on 12 of 20 from the field, was 2 of 5 from 3, had 13 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 turnovers, a steal, and a block. And then Forbes, he finished up with 17 points on 6 of 11 from the field, goes 1 of 4 from 3, had a rebound, assist, and a steal. And the Spurs bench pretty much kept them in this game because they got contributions from Rudy Gay, who he finished up with 16 points, Patty Mills, Jakob Poeltl, all those guys scored in double figures off the bench. That's pretty much what kept them in this game, big time. The Blazers, CJ McCollum, he finished up with 32 points on the night for 13 of 25 from the field, goes 6 of 11 from 3, had 6 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 turnovers, and a steal. Dame Lillard, like I was saying, he was off, but he ended up finishing up with 22 points on 4 of 19 from the field, was 1 of 9 from 3, had 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 turnovers, and 1 steal. And he just found a way to get to the free throw line to get his points. He was one of the bigger reasons why the Blazers started getting to the free throw line, because he just, like I was saying, he just didn't have it at all tonight as far as offensively, but he still ended up with 22. Whiteside, huge night, had a double-double, 21 points, 8 of 12 from the field, had 12 rebounds, a turnover, and 3 blocks. And that last block that he had against DeMar DeRozan was huge. It pretty much sealed the victory for the Blazers. Rodney Hood finished up with 16 points on 6 of 8 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and a turnover. And Rodney Hood has been on this whole entire season. Now, he's been dealing with back spasms, but when he's in the game and he's actually shooting the rock, he's actually been really, really good. So Rodney Hood needs to be taking a lot more shots, in my opinion. For the Blazers, though, this game was a little bit up and down, you know. The Blazers go out and play really good defense in that first quarter, and I believe that they play good defense in that second quarter as well, or the fourth quarter as well. But the second and third quarter was definitely the Spurs, and the Spurs were playing so well they even went up 6. And like I was saying, they ended up going up by 15 at one point. Not late in the fourth quarter, but early in the fourth quarter. And Blazers just were able to execute a lot more down the stretch. And I think that's a testament towards Greg Popovich not being there for those guys, you know, not being able to draw up a play that they can execute to seal the victory, because they were up and probably should have won this game with the way they were playing in that second and third quarter for sure. Having Tim Duncan out there, trying to rally the troops and whatnot, he tried to do what he could, but they just couldn't execute down the stretch. And that's just, like I said, Greg Popovich should have been there for the team, worrying about that foul call. Like, the Blazers have been dealing with that type of stuff all season, but I have not seen Terry Stotts lose it like that again, like on the refs. You could just read Greg Popovich's mouth whenever he was getting ejected. He was cussing up a storm at the refs. So, and when your team is not playing so well, like you don't need to be having those types of foul calls and ejections on you. You know what I mean? Because you got a lot of young coaches who are good, but they just don't have that late game, savvy like he does. So I think that was a big reason why the Blazers got back and won this game, because Greg Popovich wasn't there. For the Blazers, they go on over to Houston, and they'll be playing on Monday on the front end of another back-to-back for the Blazers, which is the 4th of the season, and this is the 3rd back-to-back of the month of November for these guys. So lots of games in a short amount of time for the Blazers. This will be game 2 on the road for the Blazers, who have been on the road most of the season. So this was definitely a must-win game, in my opinion. The Blazers definitely needed this, even if it was sloppy. Like, as you can see, you can tell that the Blazers' offense can be very potent, and then having a guy like Carmelo Anthony come off that bench with a guy like Anthony Simons, it's going to be nasty. And then once he gets his feet under him, he can assume that starting role in the 4 position and have Little come off the bench, who's gaining valuable time on the court, and it's going to just pay dividends for him later on down the season. Like, this is going to be big time for him. Like, he's making a lot of mistakes right now. Like, in this game, he made some mistakes, but he made some good plays as well. He played some pretty good defense against DeMar DeRozan, and DeRozan didn't have the best game that he could have. I think he finished up with 16 points, and that's a testament to how well Little was playing defensively on him. So general salute to Nasir Little, man. Yes, he's making a lot of rookie mistakes, but he's making some good plays as well as he's making those mistakes. So the good is outweighing the bad for him. So general salute to Nasir Little. But other than that, I don't really have much else to say. Big win for the Blazers. Hopefully they can play with this type of energy in Houston, but keep it at a consistent pace, because we're going up against a team in Houston who puts the ball in the basket a lot. So we definitely gotta be on defensively against those guys. But this is your boy P Money. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to all my supporters. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. And I am off this.